All right.
There we go.
Can we go to the questions?
If you want, you can ask me one. But Jimmy, if you have something in mind to say.
Yeah, I kind of knew how I was gonna start it. I thought about it already.
So just start it.
Yeah, like, well, I started skateboarding about '87, and the shop that was around when I first started skateboarding was Rainbow, and it was a bike shop, like on Wellington by the Thames River, and that was like the bee's knees back in the day. Everybody went there, and then soon after that, there was D&D Skateboards, which was over by the Galleria, where these were some dudes that had a shop in Kitchener, and they tried to expand. And they had one in London for a couple of years. Had a little 2-foot mini ramp in the back. It's kind of cool. I got a couple boards there. And then King Nick started, which was Nick Parker, which was probably, back then, he was the guru of London skateboarding. He was the oldest guy that worked at Rainbow, and he branched off. And he was the guy who tried to get things going in London all the time. And he had a skateboard shop that was like in the same building as the Embassy for about a year, and then it moved to Wellington Street, just underneath the underpass under the train tracks. And it was awesome. It was one of those kind of shops you'd go in, and he'd be asleep on the couch for like a half an hour before you even, like, you know, hey, can I buy something? Like, or he'd be shooting you with BBs or doing something completely outrageous because he was that kind of guy. And that was pretty cool. And then after that, things just pretty much exploded. That was like 92, where like skateboarding was just like huge at that time. And there was a place called Fat Lip that was on Piccadilly. And that was like the new school shop of shops. And then that turned into a place called Splurge, and I guess that place was spawned because it was part of the like Kellogg's family, like rich kids, and they started a skateboard shop. And then there was a couple of skateboard shops that were attached to the record stores, like it was In Your Ear back in the day, and in the back there was the Boardroom, I do believe. I get mixed up with a lot of these shops' names because not a lot of them lasted very long, but there was that. And then that finally ended up with Crazy Joe's that was behind Speed City. And then you had the Half Pipe, which was a mess of a skateboard shop. And it started in Masonville Mall. And it was a locally owned skateboard shop, but it was in the mall. And it would tie down all the skateboards so you couldn't pick them up and use them or really look at them because they were tied down. It's like, he's a total, dickhead kind of skate shop owner, and he expanded into Westmount Mall even, but eventually he just failed. And then basically around that time you had Ryan Mackin, who had worked in numerous of the past skateboard shops like Splurge and Fat Lip, and he's pretty much, at that point, he was the leader of the new school. He was kind of that guy. So he started what was Epidemic, which was probably as hardcore of a skateboard shop as you're ever going to get. Like, you're pretty much, they'd be smoking cigarettes, playing video games right in the skateboard shop. It was drinking 40s, getting crazy, that kind of skateboard shop. And that turned into what became Legacy, which was another guy, Dan, who was a friend of ours, who ended up taking it over from Ryan because he didn't want to have a skateboard shop anymore. And Dan came from a very corporate background. He was a West 49, like, upper office kind of guy, but he was cool down skateboard guy too. So he really wanted to start a really good skateboard shop. He wanted to be retail friendly, and he did really well. And then he sold it off to his private owner, which drove it into the ground. And then that pretty much brings you to where we are now with the LSC. When we were all brothers with all those other guys in the past, and we just wanted to make sure London had the best shop that it could have. Oh, I forgot Board Shop even. Board Shop's in the mix. Like, there's been a lot of skateboard shops in London, that's for sure.
Let's do it. I'm trying to do it. It's gonna be so hard to come on the line. You ready? Yep. Oh my god.
We had a half an hour break.
Alright, guys. Wait till it dries up then. I don't know.
Jake Bester getting some speed. Big nose slide. Board slide off the board. Oh, all the way over the board. Nice.
Ali, motherfucker! Thanks, man. We at Woodstock, Ontario Skate Park. Scooter skate bike comp. You know, I had a good ride. Just like to thank Gatorade. You know, helped me every step of the way. You know, yeah, G2, best shit out there, man. And yeah, so spoons.
Every time I go back, it's like, don't do. Smash off the ground.
I wish it was those cash prizes, man. Fucking drinks.
Last year, in fourth place, you got Zach Cook. In third place, you got Josh Marks. In first place, Nick Langdon. Right behind him by .1 was Matt Jameson.
Nick won it.
Hey, who's number one?
Lang Nickton.
Ooh, so goodies.
Is that Chris? Yeah. Open her up, man. It's Christmas.
Hold it up in the air. Just like it's a ball.
Oh my God, I love you.
Second.